Okay, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're certainly going to give it a try. This video is just a quick video on some posts I've been seeing a lot of lately, and it's understandable. I totally get why. That Suboxone, and some call it Suboxone, whatever you call it, it's the same. That is the same as being uh, in active addiction, and that could not be further from the truth. Now, that's not to say that people don't abuse it. That's not to say just like methadone or any other medication, it's been abused by people since the dawn of time. That's an individual thing. That's not something on a big level. Um, Suboxone has helped me to stay clean and sober. I've been clean for 15 years. I just celebrated 15 years. I'm coming up on 16. Um, and I've been off. I started with pain pills, went to heroin. I am on Suboxone and have been for a better part of almost 5 years. Uh, my life, I just graduated with a 3.2 GPA. I'm on my way to a university to get my bachelor's in social work. I have a job working as a medical scribe. Uh, my which I think I'm going to learn a lot. The medical side, it has a lot to do um, with addicts going back out. It's real easy for someone to say, suck it up, get over it. But I remember what I was treated like when I went for health problems. I was treated like I was pain seeking and there was nothing wrong. Turns out, had they have detected all of the layers and layers of polyps on my uterus, I wouldn't have had to have a complete hysterectomy. But by the time anyone listened to me, uh, it was really bad. So I had to have a complete hysterectomy. I lived with pain and misery and massive mood swings for years before anything was done. I had to have my wrist operated on for carpal tunnel. Nobody listened. So the medical community does need to pay attention. That's not to say that we're not hustlers. We are. We lie. If we want a pain, if we want pain pills, we know how to lie and say whatever we need to get what we want. But I would please beg those that are comparing the two to be the same. That you're in active addiction if you're on Suboxone. You have turned away way too many addicts. One is too many to me, but the numbers are far greater than that. Thousands have been turned off to Narcotics Anonymous because they feel that if they come in there on methadone or Suboxone or any other medication that is prescribed to them by a doctor that they're taking, I'm not talking about the ones abusing. I'm talking about a person who has a medical, there's hundreds that we could discuss, but we're just going to stick to the basics. A person is prescribed by their doctor. They have worked it out with their doctor. They know that they're an addict. They know they have to watch themselves. They're willing to do that. They're willing to do the footwork, but they need that medication for whatever reason for them. Like in my situation, we'll just go with me for an example. I'm on Suboxone because I have pain issues. I can't take pain pills. The moment I take one, boom, I'm gone off to the races. I will sell my own mother to get my next fix. And that is the way it is. We all know it to be true. And we have all done horrible things in active addiction. That's why people don't want to be around an active using addict. And that's why we've all worked really hard to show people that that's who I was when I was using drugs, but that is not me to my core. Me to my core, I'm a loyal, loving, honorable human being. I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't steal, I don't bother people. Those things are all offensive to who I am as a person, but that's who I became when I was a drug user. That's who I was. That's what it made me become. And I had to own that. I had to own my accountability in that. I had a choice. I shouldn't have been using. Once I stopped, my life started to get better, and it took years to undo that. And then you're turning people off, and you could easily send them right back out. If they're going to be treated the same using a prescribed medication as they are when they were in active addiction, well, fuck, I'll go back to the drugs. At least I got high. I don't get high off of Suboxone. I'm just me. I have my life. I get to go to work and I'm not beholden to somebody, the drug dealer. And If I don't want to talk to somebody, I don't talk to somebody. How many of us sat there and answered the phone for people we could not stand, that we did not like, and we did it for one reason and one reason only, because they had what we wanted or they knew where to get it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been bothering with them to begin with, because we didn't like them. I sucked up and talked to people I could not freaking stand, simply because they had what I needed, or they had a better deal, or I could make more money off of buying their pills and turning around and making a better profit. Not going to glorify, so let's stop there. So, this idea of telling people that they're in active addiction, unless they stop that, they're not welcome in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous saved my life. I met amazing people in those rooms. And in all honesty, I have stopped going, and it's because of this. People, now, here's what bothers me about this is I have good people in my circle. I have people that still go to NA in my circle that I consult with about my steps. So I'm still working a program. I haven't stopped that. But that's a rare thing. How many people are actually going to work their steps on their own? How many people are going to seek out someone in NA to work the steps and just not go to the meetings? We all know that's a bunch of bullshit. It's not going to happen. And if this was a couple years into my recovery, I wouldn't have done it either. This is only from years and years of recovery that I'm able and strong enough to know that this addiction will get a hold of me and take everything from me. So I have to be 10 steps ahead of my disease. Period. End of story. So it's a war, and I have to strategically plan so that I don't get taken over. That's the way it is. And that doesn't happen after a couple weeks of recovery. That doesn't happen after a couple years. That's a long-term work a program, which I did. So you're denying people that I have this strength because of NA. I have this strength because of my sponsor. I have this strength because of the people that I met in the rooms that gave me this strength. They gave me the hope. They gave me the freedom to find who I was again and become who I was capable of becoming all along, but the drugs steered my life in another direction. And you're denying them that ability because you're making them feel like they're not clean and they don't belong there. And who the hell are you to tell someone else they don't belong? Or didn't we all learn the basics here? And the basics were work your own program. If you're working someone else's, you're not working your own. I mean, we all know the slogans. They're there for a reason, because you're not the first one to do it. I'm not the first one to do it, because I've done it too. I've counseled people, or thought I was, on their recovery. And I was wrong, because I can't tell someone else how to work their program. I don't know their whole life, their whole circumstances. And this is not a one size fits all. Now, a one size fits all with heroin, pain pills, drugs, yes, I agree with you. However, there are people that do need pain management who are addicts, and they need a specific kind of help to be able to manage that. They need to know that they have people they can count on and talk to about, hey, this is really hard. I need this for pain, but boy, do I want to take more than I should. We should help each other overcome that, so that they can take the pain medicine and have pain relief, but not lose their life in the meantime. We can help each other. That's what this was all started for. When they started NA, it was branched off from AA, and it was a group of people that wanted to help save each other's lives. And that's what our core motto should always be: to help save lives. We all have value in one way or another. We all have a purpose. It's not My purpose is not the same as your purpose, but I'm not going to knock your purpose, and I'm not going to knock your process. What I'm going to do is help you. And if I think what you're doing, yes, is detrimental, I get where you're coming from and what your logic is. You believe that this is detrimental, like those that have told me that I'm still using. You believe that you're actually helping me. But here's what is where I would ask you to look at. What was when we saw that our lives were out of control? We lost family, we lost friends, we lost loved ones, we robbed people, we stole, we lied, we cheated, we lost our children. I was on probation. I have a criminal record very long. I lost my son. My daughter and I have never regained our relationship. I, there are things that I can't go back and fix because the damage was too extensive. But I still had to find a reason to get up every morning and keep pushing through. So you're supposed to help that person find that reason. And the reason we all know is because I know I on my own am enough. I have value and I can fix what I can and understand that I was wrong and that's why I lost other opportunities. And that way I don't do that again so I don't lose future opportunities. And you denying someone that chance is wrong. You're denying it because you yourself believe that what they're doing is wrong. And we're not supposed to judge each other like that. It's not like the person, if somebody comes in and they are nodding off and talking about sobriety, okay, yeah, you got a legitimate gripe there. But I'm talking right now. Would you guess that I was on Suboxone? When I tell people, a lot of people are shocked. And then I was a perfect student. Like I didn't miss any classes for 3 years to get my associate's degree. I suffered and sacrificed, just like I suffered and sacrificed to get clean, suffered and sacrificed to make amends with family members and friends and loved ones that I could, just like I suffered to get my life on track, just like I suffered and sacrificed to show people that's not who I am and that I do have value on my own. I'm intelligent. I'm educated. I have worked to overcome my background so that it doesn't dictate. So there's enough there to show, okay, we can see this background. However, all of the things that have happened in the last 10 years are totally the exact opposite of what happened during that time frame. So I've given them enough evidence to show that I've changed, I've grown. You're denying people that right to gain that ground, to gain strength and sobriety by telling them that they're not really sober, that they're not really clean, that they're still just a junkie in in white clothing or however you put it. What was it? Somebody put a thing on Facebook. They showed clean shoes and dirty shoes and put sobriety and recovery versus sobriety with Suboxone. And I was extremely offended, and more than offended, I'm pissed off and I'm angry because of the people you would turn away, because NA saved my life. The people I met in those rooms saved my life. I would not be sitting here right now with a badass PC that my whole setup in my office, it took years to get it. And I saved up and I scrimped and I have double monitors, a video setup, microphone, uh, a wraparound desk that I could do my homework in. And it took, like I said, this is probably right here, a few grand, probably around 45, we'll say 4,500 that I've spent to accumulate this. None of which would be happening if I was still in active addiction, if I was still a strung out dope fiend. And let me tell you, I might have bought one thing, but it wouldn't be long before I was turning around and selling it for half of what it was worth just to get unsick. So it is not the same. My lifestyle is not the same. I have a home, my mortgage, car payment, all that stuff is, my boyfriend and I are responsible. We take care of our bills first, accessories second. We're responsible people, and he's not a recovering addict, so I took the advice of, and that's why I buried my fiance, because I did what I had to. They said two using addicts couldn't be together because they'd bring each other down. He died, and I'm alive. And it will always live with me that if I'd have stayed, would he have gotten better, or would we both be dead? I'll never know. But I'm grateful that I met those people in NA because they saved my life and helped me get my shit together, which is why I'm able to sit here and do what I'm doing and say what I'm saying. And you're going to deny someone that right because your moral compass says this is wrong. Well, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm not going to berate you or call you any kind of names, but I'm telling you, you're wrong and you should be ashamed because you're going to turn people away. You already have. And I'm asking you to stop. Stop turning people away from NA by telling them that they're still just a useless junkie because they're on Suboxone or methadone. You're wrong on that. With Suboxone, you don't get more than 2 a day. Now, methadone is different because a person can go up to the highest level that they will give them as long as they pay the money. And we both know if you give me, I was on methadone, and that's why I stopped, because I saw that I wasn't any different on methadone than I was on. Now, I did gain my life back in that sense. I started to make changes, but I had that instant. I didn't work on myself because I was just going to the clinic, driving there every day, and I kept upping my dose to whatever they would let me. At the end, I was on 190 milligrams a day. I did not need 190 milligrams a day of methadone. I was a walking zombie. But that's the key. If you give an addict a choice to get as much as you'll give them, they'll take it and they won't work on anything else. So that's what I did. That's why I stayed sick. I just wasn't using street drugs, but I was still in active addiction. I wasn't changing anything. On Suboxone, though, I've never stopped changing. Like, I was in the rooms, and 4 years ago, the pain got really bad and I couldn't take it. And I didn't know what else to do. Somebody suggested Suboxone. I gave it a shot. And I'm so glad that I did because I have managed my pain. It's not gone, but it's mild compared to where it was. And I can still have my life. And I'm begging you to reconsider your position and to please think about what you're saying, because what you're saying is affecting thousands of addicts who don't know what to do and they feel like they're doing something wrong by taking this. I see them come into the clinic, the Suboxone clinic, and they really want their lives back. They just need help. Now they're offered Vivitrol or the Suboxone. Most of them do take the Suboxone. With Vivitrol, you have to be off for so many days of nothing. This weans them down. And when they take it, at first it's a euphoria. They're thinking they're taking something. But over time, they realize it's not the same high because I'm not getting high anymore. And then they start to learn they can deal with not feeling that high. And they're living life really on life's terms. They just have a little bit of help doing it. Now, you call it a crutch and say that's wrong, but I don't. I call it a lifesaver that's enabling them to have a chance, that's giving them an opportunity that wasn't there before. So please reconsider, and I'm happy to discuss it further and debate any further if anybody would like. But that's my stick or spiel, however you want to say it. Again, this is Jennifer, and I'm from Pennsylvania, and I've been clean 15 years, and I do have my associates in applied science. My goal is to be a social worker, specifically in drug and alcohol. So I start in the fall, actually in August, to obtain my bachelor's in social work. And I currently have a 3.2 GPA. I got a scholarship to my college for it was 8,000. They give me 1,000 each or 2,000 each semester, which is awesome. It's such a huge help. The price of college is woo. So any kind of a break is a blessing. So I'm very grateful for that. But I'm gonna have to still do what I've always been doing, work really hard to finish my goal. And that goal is to have my bachelor's in social work. And I have sacrificed to get to this point, and I will continue to sacrifice and work hard, never miss class, always be on time, turn my homework assignments in on time. Also, the job that I have, I intend to do, because I was a work study. Now I'm not a work study anymore because I'm not in that college anymore. So I'm going to be the best employee that I can be. My employer actually sent me for a class to do my job better, and I intend to make her proud by showing her that it matters to me, and I'm grateful, and I will be the best representation I can be. And I want to do that because it matters to me. It matters what my employers think. I want them to be proud of me and see that I'm a good representation of their company. And and that's my point. The reason why I say this is because NA, we are representations of NA. And if we're telling people how horrible they are and how they're just still using junkies and they're not welcome, you're not being a very good representation of NA. And in NA, we should be representing unity and brotherhood. Like, you can come here and we will support you. We're not going to sign your bullshit, but we will support you. And you are taking this issue and saying that if you don't say anything, you're co-signing their bullshit. That's not what you're doing. What you're doing is allowing them to have their life and work their recovery. They are not, I'm telling you, it's not the same as getting high. It is not the same. Please reconsider your position. Love to debate it. Thank you and have a great day. God bless.